Hey y'all, hey, how are y'all doing today? It's your girl Rebecca Davis, CEO of Tax Time Express Tax and Business Services. And I'm sitting in my office. I should be up working and all of that, but I'm not. I'm tired. Anyway, so I wanted to come on here because tax season is approaching and I just want to get a few things out of the way. I see a lot of stuff on social media and I've been doing taxes a very, very long time. And so many people love to scream the word scammer. Not saying there are no tax pros that are scammers out here, but y'all, everything is not a scam. Sometimes you bring the issues on yourself. And it's not everybody, but some of you all. Some of you all let somebody play in your face by telling you, by looking in your face, that they can get you all this money back. You trust that even though they haven't looked at any of your documents, they haven't seen any of your paperwork. You give them your information, they do whatever they're gonna do, and then the outcome is not what they promised. Did they scam you? I wouldn't say they scammed you. I would just say they used a tactic to get you in their chair. Sometimes you have to do your due diligence and stop falling for the okie doke. Another thing, sometimes y'all think that as taxpayers that the IRS is some error-free service, that they are superheroes and powerful people that don't make any mistakes, and they're not human. They're just this big old gigantic big ball of perfect. So when y'all call them and you talk to a person there and they tell you something, of course I get it because it's IRS, so you feel like, oh, it has to be true. And then you run back into your tax pro and say, oh, you scammed me because the IRS said that the money went to your account. First off, I wish IRS would stop using that verbiage. I really wish they would stop using that. Second off, IRS employs people just like Chick-fil-A employs people. Most times when you call IRS, and I'm not knocking them, not at all. Most times when you call IRS, you're talking to a person that's reading off of a computer. Not necessarily somebody that knows taxes, not necessarily somebody that knows tax law, somebody that was hired to do customer service and read off of a computer. Most times, if they don't know the answer to the question you're asking, they sometimes wing it. So, in telling you that they say certain verbiage, it doesn't necessarily mean that. So if you call the IRS and you're asking about your return and they say, oh, it went to your tax preparer's account, they're not referring to our said bank account. They're talking about the third party bank account that all tax pros use in order to collect their fees. So when the IRS tells you that, don't run back to your tax pro, especially if you have no reason to believe that they did something like that. Don't run back to your tax pro and be like, oh, the IRS said that my money went into your account and you're a scammer. Not the case. Not the case. Especially if you signed your documents and you see that the information, you saw the banking application and all of that. Your tax professional should be going over all of those documents with you to help you understand that. Now, if you don't fill out paperwork, you don't see none of that, and you're not sure on how that works, then I would say have a conversation with your tax pro or seek another one. But we have to stop jumping to the conclusion of somebody scammed you because the taxes don't come back when you think they should, because it's taking a little longer, or because you go and where's my refund and don't see your bars moved. Yeah, we have no control over that. Once we submit on your tax return, it's going on to the IRS and it's out of our hands. It's not like when we push submit, they say, okay, Rebecca, we got Jennifer's tax return and we have it here and we're about to work on it. Girl, I'm going to call you back in a minute and let you know the status of it so you can tell Jennifer, okay? No, they don't do that. When we are waiting just like you are waiting. And again, I will say this because I did another live saying this. The misconception of, oh, the tax pros already got paid. No. When you have the money taken out of your return, we don't get paid until after you do. So to say, oh, you already got paid, that's not why you worried about it. Not true. We have to wait. We've done the work January 1st and got to wait to January 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th or on to get paid. That's a privilege. That's not something that we have to do. So just be mindful, especially if you have a good tax pro. Now, if you don't have a good professional, knowledgeable one, then that's on you. You need to find you somebody else. But if you have a good one that is forthcoming and telling you the process and telling you how it works and telling you, once you submit everything, it goes to the IRS. I have no control over it. I have no control over the bars on where's my refund. Where's my refund is an IRS tool. It's not a tax prepare tool, meaning we don't go in and move the bars. IRS does that. So just be mindful of that and give some grace this year when you're waiting on your tax return and it's not coming back as fast as you want it. Don't start blowing your tax professional's phone up. Just kind of wait. If you know that you didn't submit all of your documents at the time of filing, if you know that you're in a hurry and you rush to file and it's taking long, that's on you. Wait on all those documents because that will possibly slow your return down. I know that when tax season comes, and I've been in over 25 seasons of tax season, and people can be so sweet, so nice, so cool, calm, and collective. When tax season comes, it turns some of you all into a whole different person. So I'm just telling you, on behalf of all other tax pros, not the ones that do fraud or scam, the good ones, that give grace this season. Everybody's not scamming you. Just because it's taking longer, that doesn't mean you're being scammed. Just because you look on your tax return, and when you look on your tax return and you see those numbers under direct deposit, look at the last 9 numbers and you see that's a social security number, which is yours, which means you went through a tax pro that is taking the fees out of the return. If you don't want to see that, guess what you can do? You can pay up front and you don't have to worry about that. So don't feel like, oh, my money's going this, that. Because sometimes I think that a lot of taxpayers, they get their taxes done and they don't even think about, like, how's this tax pro getting paid? Or when is she get paid? They don't even care about that. Long as they get their money, and that's fine. They really don't have to care about that. But sometimes just ask those questions and get that understanding before you're running with that narrative on somebody scamming. And grace of God, I've never had that issue, because I try to be 100% transparent on most things that I can. But one of the things that I can't never answer is when bars are going to move on where's my refund. Because again, that's an IRS tool. Or when the IRS is going to process a return, because they tell us the same thing. Up to 21 days, can be 28, could be longer if you're chosen for audit. But the thing with that, if you want your return to go through smoother and be processed in a smooth, process, make sure you wait on all those documents and file everything correctly the first time. That will save you so much less time in waiting. Because when you don't do that, it's not matching. And when things don't match when they get it, it's automatically flagged for investigation. So just remember that. Again, let's stop using that word scammer. And then some of you just go straight to social media without even giving the person time to answer or give you an explanation of what done happened. Like, you just go straight to, oh, such and such scam me. They scam me. Y'all, it don't work like that. Not on everybody. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but not on all tax pros. Again, we don't get paid till after you do. And the money has to go through a third-party bank in order for us to get paid. So how that process works is we submit your taxes. The IRS processes it. They've acknowledged it. They've accepted it. They've approved it. Now they're going to pay it out. They see, oh, you have a bank application on file, which is the third party, where there's Refund Advantage, Santa Barbara, Republic, TPG, whichever one your tax pro uses. IRS says, okay, we're ready to pay out the return. So we see they have a bank application. So we're going to send the tax refund to the bank product. The bank product is the person that keeps everybody honest. So they take the money, they pay you, the tax payer, the amount that you're supposed to get, and then they take the tax prep fees for the tax professional and put it in their account. So in that process, the tax pro has no way of finagling your money out of your account, putting money in or out, taking money out of your account. No, it's a third party that's handling it, that's keeping everybody honest and making sure ain't no funny business going on. They're going to pay that taxpayer, then they're going to pay the tax pro, and then the transaction is complete. So that's how it works. So when you see all those different things, just ask the questions, because it's a process for everything. Tax pros are not able to just be going in and out your bank account, putting your money in. That's not ethical, and that's just not how it's set up. So that's why we have those banks, and those banks are put in place to be a convenience for taxpayers, because without those, you would all be required to pay for your services up front. Those banks are put there so that we take the fall on it, meaning we wait the 2 and 3 weeks to get paid and let those fees come out of the tax return instead of requiring our money up front. Some tax pros don't do that. They require their money up front. So in order to take away that process of having to be paid up front, that bank is there to oversee everything when the money is funded from IRS. So that's how it works. So next time you want to give your tax pro or someone a hard time, just think about it. Dang, this lady or man is waiting 2 to 3 weeks to get paid after they did services 3 weeks ago. Where are you going to go and get that done? Hardly nowhere. So just be mindful of that. And again, if you don't, when you go through the bank, because the process is being waited and we're waiting, and the money is coming out of the tax return, the bank charges for that. So if you want to prevent that, you want to prevent the whole process, then you can just pay your tax professional their fee up front when you file your taxes, and that will prevent that. So I just want to get on here and drop a little knowledge, because sometimes, some tax pros can be a little more forthcoming and transparent with the whole process, and they don't. They probably feel like, well, you just wait. I like to put it out there so you know how the process works, and that people are not out here trying to scam you over your income tax. Like, I ain't saying everybody. I'm just saying, I know me at Tax Time Express, I'm not. So with that being said, if anybody has any questions for me, open book, feel free to drop them in the comments. You can DM me, any of that. Also, content creators, this is something that I want to keep trying to reach you. Make sure that you know and understand how to properly file your taxes. So many content creators that I have as clients, and I have quite a few, they leave so much money on the table because they are not taking good records. They're not keeping good records, I should say. They're not keeping up with everything that's considered a deduction in their content creation business. If you're a content creator and you're monetized, there are so many things that you should be writing off, but you have to keep good records in order to get those deductions. So just make sure that if you have a question about that, I'm going to do another live that's just going to talk about content creators and what they can write off and all of that, so that those people who are content creators can take note and not leave all that money on the table with this upcoming filing. Hold on, I'm looking at this. So let me make sure I don't have any questions. And again, if y'all have questions for me, feel free to just drop them and I'll answer them in the comments, or you can send me a message. I don't mind either way. Okay, so I hope this information has been helpful. If it has been helpful for you and you want more information like this, just please follow me at the page up. I don't know if it's above or below, but follow me on my page. And if it was helpful, if you got anything out of this, just comment thank you or it helped, just so I'll know somebody out there got something out of it. Okay, until next time, y'all have a great day. Peace.